કેમ છો દોસ્તો, હું છું પાર્થ દવે અને સિનેમા સાહિત્યમાં તમારું સ્વાગત છે. ઇન્ટરનેશનલ ફિલ્મ ફેસ્ટિવલ ઓફ ઇન્ડિયા ઇફીમાં હું હાજર છું અને મેં પોએટ ફિલ્મ ગઈકાલે જોઈ. તમે એની રીલ પણ ઇન્સ્ટાગ્રામ ઉપર જોઈ હશે. ફિલ્મના ડિરેક્ટર છે સિમોન મેસા સોતો અને ફિલ્મમાં મેં વાત કરી હતી પોએટ, એક કવિની વાત છે. First of all, welcome to Cinema Sahitya. Our YouTube channel name is Cinema Sahitya. Sahitya means literature and cinema.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks for
And
having me.
we meet literature and cinema connected peoples. Yeah.
Okay.
So, as I told you, I like very much a poet. Please tell me. I know you said it at screening and also press conference that your frustration is on screen.
Yeah.
So yeah. So please tell me about process of idea. How can you come to a poet?
Well, I was doing my first film. What is my second film?
Yeah.
I was doing my first film. It took quite a long time to make it. I'm also producer, screenwriter, director. So it's like I put a lot of weight on my back to make films. Making films in Colombia is a bit independent cinema is quite a task. It's quite you have to struggle, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful craft, but you also have to struggle. And I'm being a professor for a long time now. For many years, I've been a professor, and that's actually I've been living my life. I pay more with my living with being a professor than cinema. In a way, so when I made my first film, I finished it at 2020 during the pandemic, so there was nowhere to show it, and I was a bit frustrated because it took a while. I spent a lot of time and to do it, and I was in an age where I was feeling that I have no stability in my economic stability or nothing, and I was a bit like frustrated. So I thought about giving up on cinema. So, and then I started thinking like, what kind of person will I become if I give up cinema? And I will become like a professor like that. I decided to make a film like the worst version of myself.
Yeah.
Like if I fail in the arts or something like that.
First film name is Amparo.
Amparo, yeah.
Amparo. Tell me about that film.
Amparo?
Yeah.
Well, it's my first film.
Yeah.
It's very different from this one. I decided to change radically. It's more a dramatic and with more a social commentary about the 90s in Colombia, and it was about a mother who learns that her son is drafted by the army in the 90s in Colombia. So it's like a quest she takes to go into the kind of bureaucracy in the Colombian system to take his son out of the army because he's been sent to a very let's say dangerous region. So it's more a social kind of dark, more heavy drama film.
In a poet, there is one dialogue, something like that you like to live in pain. You are a melancholic. So something like about sadness. So what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Well, I think everything in the film is a way of reflecting my own life and my own work as an artist as well. Like I tend to be quite nihilistic sometimes.
Okay.
But I was trying to get rid, in my life, I think it's important to get rid of that idea that in order to make art, you have to suffer, or you have to struggle, or you have to be melancholic.
Yeah.
I mean, I need to find light in my life, otherwise I'm gonna... I mean, it's gonna be hard for life. Is gonna be very problematic. So I need to find a way to enjoy the process of the craft I do, that I love, and to get rid of that idea that you have to struggle and suffer to make art. Is a way for me to grow old and understand how to live a better life. I mean,
it's said that art is created out of suffering and pain. Is it true?
It is true, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
But of course, many people go through that. I mean, for instance, cinema, there's a lot of sacrifices you make, a lot of work, and sometimes there's frustration. And it's right, it's part of the work. But sometimes I think we artists, we think a lot about the future. that the movie we're gonna make, or how we don't think about the present that much. We think more about the future. And in 10 years, or maybe I'm gonna make this film in 5 years, and I don't care how it is now, the present, you know. And for me, it was a way to think about the present, my life, like not being obsessed too much with the future, but to enjoy the present and the simple things of life, you know, like
Yeah.
the everyday life. And I think I do it more now, and I try to not to suffer when I make art.
Balance. You can.
Yeah, you can balance. Yeah, and you can enjoy. You just can enjoy. It's a beautiful thing to do, to make films. Yeah.
Actually, I think basic question is artists think from heart, but industry didn't like work like that, right? Industry is not work like
Sorry.
that.
But
Artists think from heart. Every that like a poet. That
yeah,
man
yeah,
that he's think from heart. He's a noble person, but
yeah,
he's a drunken. One
yeah.
dialogue, his mother tell him that you are a nice person. I am with you.
Novel
Right?
person.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
noble person. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanted to portray a fragile man because I wanted to have hope in myself as well. Like also, there's a dilemma with being a man for me.
Yeah.
Like who I am as a man in this society, with all the mistakes that I have as and the masculinity, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
all the mistakes I have, in a way to portray and to find hope in myself, or in being a man as well, even though with all the mistakes. So I wanted to portray a man that is full of mistakes, full of black holes, but at the same time, he's trying to be a good person, you know.
Mm.
But I think that's we should try. At the end, we try to be good people, a good person. You know?
Yeah. The camera work in the film is very unique. It's a close-up shots, and so tell me about this process, that process.
Well, I wanted to. We wanted Juan and I, which Juan Sarmiento is the cinematographer for pretty much everything I've done, and he's also the producer, and we are the producers of the film. So we wanted to do something that was radically different from everything I've done before, the way, because I wanted to get rid of the idea, or a preconceived idea of the films that I was doing before. I wanted to be very different, and so my previous film is quite formalistic film. The camera very well composed and smooth in terms of movement
Yeah.
and tripods and camera movements. I wanted to just get rid of that for in order for me to change, to break from my own restrictions, you know. So and the character, I think the character allows me to play with the camera like that, because his mind is a mess, you know. He's a mess, and he has
Hmm.
this mental
Yeah. Yeah.
imbalance.
Yeah.
His mind works like that.
Yeah.
So I think it helps to portray him, to see the camera is a bit like the way he is, the way he looks, like his perspective of life, like that. We also wanted to shoot on film, on 16 mil. We
Yeah.
shot the film
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
16 mil because I wanted to do like a sort of documentary about the past, about the poets from the past,
Hmm.
because this poet as well is like
Lives in past.
he's living in the past. He's wrote these books when he was 25 or something like that, and he's still reading the same book he wrote when he was in the 90s.
In his mind, he is there.
And his mind is in the past. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I wanted to give that static of the past, you know.
You mentioned the lead actor is a non-actor.
Mm.
So please talk about casting process.
I wanted to have a professional actors. I want to have a professional actor for the poet, the main actor, and I look for a lot of them. We look for a lot of them for more than almost 2 years. But I also did a lot of. We also did a lot of casting with people from the real world of the poetry, or the bohemian figures, like
Yeah.
musicians or writers or actors. I mean, bohemian actors, and and in that process, a friend of mine told me that show me the profile picture, the profile Facebook of Weimar. He was his
Yeah.
uncle,
Yeah.
and at the beginning I didn't think my poet was like that, but maybe he could. I thought maybe he can be one of the poets in this universe, because he's part of the poetry in Colombia, and we did a test for him, and when we made a test of him, I saw him and I say, this is very interesting person, you know, and but I wasn't sure, so it took me a while.
Yeah.
Watching these videos, we did another casting. We did another casting with him, and he convinced me in a way that he was the poet. And I was is different is weird because I wasn't thinking in someone like him for the character, and he changed my perception
Yeah.
of the
But
film.
he's brilliant. His gesture, his body language.
Yeah,
It's like,
his physicality
yeah.
is very. That was the interesting thing, how he changed the character, and he made the character about him. He gave a very interesting shape to the character, and he prepared for 2 months,
Okay.
quite almost every day, like for 5 hours every day. He worked a lot with a acting coach and myself, and we went through all the scenes and rehearsed with all the actors, most of the actors. So he did an amazing
Yeah.
job.
The
Yeah.
protagonist encouraged the schoolgirl Yardley,
Your
right?
lady, yeah.
And then whatever follows. So tell me about that track. He helps her
Yeah.
in school. So
Yeah.
tell me about that track. Track.
About what?
Track. That sub track. I think after second half.
Sorry, I don't understand the track. What the
Track means that plot.
that plot?
Yeah.
Well, the character of Your Lady for me was a way to depict my own concerns in the process of making art in my own society and my own. I live in Medellin. I live in the same city
Okay.
where the film
Shoot.
takes place, and so and I mean, Your Lady remind me a lot of my previous films that I work with characters like her.
Okay.
So I was feeling like this relationship they have is a bit like the relationship I used to have with my own non-actresses. Like the characters of my previous films, they are
Okay.
non-actors, and and there's something, a tradition of non-actors in Colombia, in the movies, in the films, that I think we it's like some responsibility that we as artists have to face when we take non-actors from their reality and put it on a film. There's some dilemmas we face, because it's like we put it in a different world, different from their lives in a way. I mean, in terms of industry, like the film industry, and their life kind of changes in a way, and there are some issues about that. So I thought a lot about that when I was writing, and that's why I have that figure of the professor, because I thought through that situation, through that plot, I could depict myself and dilemmas of frustration and finding the light that I have in my life. For me, your light is poetry, the pure poetry, you know, and Oscar is trying to find that.
Okay.
And me myself, I'm trying to find that, you know.
Okay. And please tell me about. Please elaborate ending of film.
About the ending.
And I think you told somewhere that there's a two ending. You
Yeah, we shot. I usually sometimes when I have doubts, I shot alternatives. So in the film, in the shooting, we have like an alternative ending. We shot an alternative ending,
Okay.
but we didn't use it really. But it's, yeah, you can shoot things that are well, there are scenes and things that are not, that didn't make it to the film, to the final cut. One of those was the ending, but I knew the ending was, I needed to have a human ending. You know, for me, it's important to be human. Like life is hard. You know, life is hard. Life is difficult. We go through things, and I wanted to be very human, like humanity is like, and it's hard. So, but I didn't want it to end in a to leave it in the dark. I wanted to for him to find some light, and I was making a film. I think that I was thinking very much in the audience when I make this film. I was thinking in the audience in my own country. So I wanted the audience to leave the room in a good way, in a way, and to think about the film and the character, to leave thinking. So that's why I don't close. I think it's an open ending.
Yeah, it's open.
And so because I want the audience, when they hear this song,
Yeah.
keep thinking, to to left them something to think.
Yeah.
And it has worked in a way, because
Yeah.
many people, they say, I've been thinking about this film.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
but I wanted to have light. To have hope. I wanted to have hope. I did want to have hope with this ending. Yeah.
And which is your favorite poet? And please tell me about your favorite books, if you.
Well, there's a lot. I don't know. My favorite. I think my favorite poet is a Colombian one called Raúl Gómez Hatin.
Okay.
And when I was writing the film, I was reading a lot of him. Reading. But I like Vallejo, the Peruvian the poet. Yeah, I think Vallejo, Peruvian, and also the Hatin,
Okay.
Raúl Gómez Hatin. I like the Kiarostami's
Yeah.
poetry
That I know.
because I like Kiarostami
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah,
So I everything he does is like magic for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those.
And please tell me about your all-time favorite films recommended. Yes.
Well, I haven't. The thing is, like, when you work on cinema,
Yeah.
you develop love for every and every.
Genre.
Yeah, I mean, like, the films I like now are different than the films I like when I started 10, 15 years ago. I mean, there are some that are very important for me. For instance, Kiarostami's Close Up. And it was important for the film. This film, Close Up, is about an artist in Tehran, you know. So I wanted to, at the beginning, I wanted to do that film.
Okay.
It was like I want to have that character, that man, fragile, depicting the artist, you know. So I liked a lot Close Up. But all of Kiarostami's films, I love.
Okay.
I think he's amazing. I mean, The Taste of Cherry is an amazing film.
And what is next after that?
I don't know.
Your upcoming projects? Okay.
No, what is next for me is to go home, because I've been going many places this
Yeah.
year with the film.
Yeah.
So I just want to go home and do nothing
Okay.
for a few weeks,
Okay.
just to forget about the world, and then start thinking what's next for me. But I really want to. I'm looking forward to the writing process, because
Yeah.
there's something that I really enjoy, like the writing process.
What's your writing process? How many months, or how can you?
Well, it depends, but it can take. I don't know. The final version, you never finish.
How many drafts?
So probably a draft for a poet was like 8 or 9 drafts.
Okay.
Uh,
A poet drafts. How many drafts of poet?
a poet was like 9.
Okay.
Probably 9, 8 or 9. I'm trying to remember. Yeah. It can be more, it can be less, but yeah, I like the discipline. With time, I have learned how to have a discipline in writing, because writing is not a job, you know. Like, nobody tells you how to do it,
Yeah.
you know. So I've developed like a way that I like. You know, at
Yeah.
home, I watch films a
Yeah.
lot. When I write, I'm watching films to understand, to see, and I read. I like reading while I write, and I like researching a lot, reading many things, and it's a process that I take, like especially in the mornings, for instance,
Okay.
that I like.
Thank you.
Thanks to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.